Alrighty. We are back,
Huzzah.
in a manner of speaking.
We are so back one night.
We are so back. That is the manner of speaking that we are in.
We're throwing it back.
That too. There are multiple interpretations. So last time, y'all had a lot of downtime after you successfully pulled off the heist of the great big dragon statue that was over the dragon commune, which actually dropped their tier by 1, and I forgot to mark that on the map, but I'll mark that when I remember to. So the dragon commune is actually now a tier 2 faction, as you stole their precious artifact and humiliated them in front of all of the other factions of the realm.
The goblins started calling them nerds, and they got noticeably weaker.
Exactly. Yeah, that and like nobody's as afraid of them now. Not that like they saw that. Wow.
Wait, I don't have anything.
Aw, kitty.
Okay.
It's giant. So you got the statue and you turned it into your own personal vehicle, which you took out for a test run, in order to go up and meet the mountain crabs, who welcomed you in after you expressed that you had some business for them. And the crab people who you've now met are essentially anthropomorphic crabs, as is kind of implied by crab people, but they all wear these very rich business suits. And they have no head; they just have like little antennae sticking up out of the neck hole of the suits. They led you down to the Lobfather, who made a bit of a deal with you after crushing about 17 different cigars whenever the name humans were brought up. Exactly, because he absolutely cannot stand them. And you agreed that you would try to find somebody in Carptown that would make a good representation for the fish people of the company, as you are scheming together with the mountain crabs to sort of infiltrate the company and perform a hostile takeover of sorts of their business. Try to control whatever resources they have there, and you were led to this because you found a very strange, like shell-like surface underneath your dungeon. And you decided the only way we're getting through this is with a really, really big drill. And who knows drills best? The miners at the company. So, there's no way you're going to get a drill this fabulous without having absolute influence over the company. They're not just going to lend you a big drill like this, right? And you figure it's easier to make them want to give it to you than it is to actually steal it for yourselves. So that's the plan you're currently enacting.
We probably could have just hired them.
You possibly could have.
I don't know that we have enough ingots.
Not
It doesn't matter. Our options were steal a drill or steal the people who have a drill.
As if we hire them, then we lose what we gave them for them to do the thing. But if we just, take over, we still have them after they do the thing.
Which is a really
Indeed.
fucked up philosophy considering we pay our minions.
You also
Like,
found
we
out
understand work.
exactly. There's a strict hierarchy, which you cannot stand the lack of hierarchy that the company has, and neither can the mountain crabs. They are a flat company. There's no leadership, and you need to get in there with somebody charismatic who can convince them they need a leader, and then that leader can do all sorts of favors for you while they're there, as you would help put them in their position.
the humans are just the unfortunate.
The humans.
Much like the American government, we're using the threat of racism to
Exactly.
get what we want.
The threat of
We're using
racism
pretty
and
direct racism.
union busting
Yeah.
in order to achieve
Yeah.
the goals. Yes.
Also, we have a spooky tower that has ingots in it, just like the U.S. government.
Yeah, just like the U.S. government. Yeah, this is Area 52. Exactly.
They don't have a flying dragon.
That's very fair. That's why we're superior.
That's the only thing that makes this a fantasy world.
True.
Instead, they have flying warthogs.
Well,
I
there's-
get it.
There's also UPS. That's the other
Yes.
thing that ties it close together. The two forces in this world are truly the U.S. government and UPS.
And
So,
goblins.
and the goblins.
Don't we also have Farmville and IHOP? So
Yeah, we also have
Yeah.
the Vatican sitting up there.
But you kind of worked in this corner of the map. Maybe you'll encounter some others.
And the
eventually,
sheep
but-
fuckers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we have Vermont.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
going to say
Claremont.
Wales, but go ahead.
Vermont's the Wales of New England.
That's true.
Exactly.
Okay.
They compost in their
He
island.
sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
I feel like neither of us has been to both these places to make the comparison.
Correct. All right. So, that wasn't actually a raid you went on to talk to the mountain crabs. You were just having a bit of a diplomatic mission in
Yes.
order to figure out what your next raid would be. You got the new, what are they actually called on the sheet? It's not like devilish companions. They're like
Vile friend.
vile friends.
Vile friend.
Thank you, vile friends. We should just use different synonyms for that every time. But
They all are vile friends or just the Lob Father?
you got the Lob Father as a vile friend. Yeah. He is now.
Did I just completely blank?
I think I may have not said the mechanics of it, but yes.
Oh, I see.
I think it makes sense for the Lob Father to be a vile friend now. He's someone in the area whom you could go to get some favors done. Maybe you
Yeah.
could purchase something off him with gold or, that kind of thing. Like a monster in the area that you are aware of and you have
Nice.
a working relationship with.
And you wait until his daughter gets married so we can have people killed.
Exactly. That is all that's step 6 of the plan. So we'll get there eventually.
That's step 1 of the plan. We're just really bad at plans.
Yes, exactly.
I have a empty project clock over here for the mine shaft, Jordan. I
Right.
don't know how many segments it's supposed to be.
Oh, yes. Probably an 8-segment clock.
8.
Yeah, I think that would make the most sense. Because that's a big building. So-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You were working on that because it was a new room, right? Was it the mine shaft? What was it?
We just picked the new room. We weren't actually
Right.
allowed to work on it or something.
You found a mine shaft and you wanted to build something down there. What were you building?
I
We were
do-
building the whole mine shaft.
Was
Yeah.
it just developing it so that we could?
I think right now we're gathering
Dungeon
all the
sheets.
The thing about a mine shaft is you can't say you dig the whole thing out to construct it, because digging
Okay.
is what it do. So when you build a mine shaft, you're setting up having all the tools and resources to dig.
Right. So you did start building the mine shaft because that's one of your tier 3
Yeah.
rooms. And getting the drill is your critical thing you need to acquire to finish the mine shaft.
Forgot about the were barracuda.
Yes, we have the Were Barracuda, which is excellent. And the Strange Pool of Inky Blackness. The Thunderdome. And a whole bunch of other fun stuff you've encountered. I think the
Yeah.
Inky Pool of Blackness was the most recent discovery.
I think you're right.
So, you all now have a little bit of time to prepare as you plan out this next raid. You're heading to Carptown, or you don't necessarily have to pick Carptown next. You could go somewhere else, but
We're trying to turn the Carps and the humans against each other.
yeah.
And I feel like racism works best if you don't use the race that you're trying to pin everybody against. You guys should go up there and just be asshole. So everyone hates you.
Well,
So
what
the
if
Lob
we-
Father
yeah.
wanted you to find an ally amongst the carp people
Yes.
who could be the figurehead of the carp people in the company. Because he can sway the crabs in the company,
Yes.
but now that's only 1/3 of the population of the company. If you can get the crabs and the fish, then you have a 2/3 majority against
Yes.
the humans. So you need to find some way to unite the fish. The Lob Father suggested heading to Carptown, but if you guys have another idea for uniting the fish.
We had him give us a bunch of posters
Don't you
of
have
him.
fish girls?
I have the trout triplets. I think their genders are unconfirmed and unasked.
No, I thought they were female.
I can't remember. I think that was the Salmon sisters who were previous.
Oh, I didn't realize you had a third set.
There's
You
been
had
so
the
many
Bass
of them.
Brothers.
We had the
and then
Bass Brothers.
I thought there was
The Salmon sisters we fought. I
They were
think.
they were rivals, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we got the boat.
Yes,
We
yes.
got the boats from the San
There are 4 trout triplets, though, just to be clear.
That's right. Yeah, because there were 3 Bass
I
Brothers.
thought they were female. My bad. I didn't mean to assume you're
Maybe they
trans.
are. I don't know. I haven't asked them. I probably did, but I can't remember.
They're all trans, but which one started where is up in the air.
That's a good point.
They all kind of look the same.
They're rainbow trout, you see.
You son of a bitch.
I'm ashamed that that didn't come to anybody else.
You're in backhanding this.
That is awfully close to backyard distance indeed.
So, I have a plan. We'll find humans and we'll tell them that the new company policy is that humans are in charge. And then we will tell these humans that because they are such revered and prodigious humans that they have been promised positions within the company.
We can't talk to humans.
That is a problem that we can do later. And then we can go to Carptown and we can explain to the majestic fishman race that the humans have decided that they are going to take over the company. And we must democratically stop that from happening.
How do you democratically commit genocide?
America does.
It's more democratic the more people are committing it.
Oh,
Pretty sure that Hitler got elected. So.
I think it's important that we establish the enemy before we start gathering our allies.
We need to find a fishman representative, so we'll just find someone charismatic and racist like we did before.
Where would we possibly find somebody like that?
Do your ghosts speak human?
yes.
What if you send your ghosts to the humans in their dreams and feed them the idea that they are superior and are taking over?
Humans are weak-minded.
Ooh, master race.
It's like
Oh,
a
no.
Christmas Carol, but it's like the opposite. It's like you should be a CEO.
The Christmas Carol book for Hitler.
I would send my
I'd
goblins,
watch
but I
that.
don't think they're going to listen to the goblins. The
Probably
humans are
not.
going to be the
I don't
master race.
believe against Jews anymore. We need to remind you the spirit of the Holocaust.
So fish people.
I'm glad nobody listens to this.
Jews are free. And everything's just normal.
Classic.
So yes, fish people. I know a thing or two about them.
They are unknowable. Not even the fish people know about fish people.
Yeah. That's why we gamble, because we can't use logic to talk to each other. We
They're
have
all
to leave
just
it all to random chance.
really socially inept. How do you talk to someone? Well, you roll dice.
Exactly. I mean, that tracks.
Now, I do know of a few quite successful fish people who we could approach. None of them like me very much.
Well, then you
So,
should.
so you have to lose to them.
How dare you suggest
Just-
such a
just
thing?
make it convincing.
I have a brilliant new strategy.
What's that?
We put you in a trench coat, and then someone sits on your shoulders.
I like it. Go on.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
We
To
have
what
it,
end?
and they won't know it's you.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Didn't we do that before?
It wasn't with you.
Oh yes, I forgot.
He doesn't have shoulders.
I have shoulders.
Well, like, there's a big fish head above it. Like,
Yes. I don't. I have a very thick neck. Is the thing.
Just saying it might be physically difficult.
It may be. Yes.
You have to hug his head, and every time he talks, it's
You gotta
I-
shove your feet in my gills.
I do like the idea of the head going all the way down to the shoulders. Though, where you just, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. That is funny.
you'll be very tall, so you'll be in charge.
Well, but we're not trying to make me in charge. We're trying to find somebody else to be in charge.
They'll be so happy you put them in charge.
Well, yes, but we don't need me to be tall for that.
It helps.
I suppose.
I am 2 feet 3 inches, and let me
I think
tell you,
Kobe just really wants to be tall for a day.
not someone else.
All right, so.
Do you have someone in mind to be Fish Hitler?
Well, he's a
Can we
very.
not call it fish Hitler?
He's a very. He's a.
Can we go with like,
It's like Sam
the
Man.
fish boss or something?
We need
Yeah.
to find Fish Patrick Bateman. Oh my god, it has bait.
It's got.
Patrick Star bait,
Oh no.
man.
Okay, so we were already thinking of maybe finding somebody named Gilly because the
Yes.
Lobfather was Maze, and so you could have Gilly and Maze. So maybe it's Gilly Bateman, but you need to find them first.
Yes, Gilly Bateman, as I was saying. He's a very greedy sort of person. He does crave power and wealth over everything else, and he's very good at getting it. So, maybe it's possible that losing to him might not be the most difficult thing in the world.
So why doesn't he like you?
I said very unpleasant things about his mother to his face.
Your mother has
It
a
was
job.
completely unprompted.
He's a respectable member of the community.
I suppose we could hit him up. Perhaps he'll have forgotten me.
You son of a fish.
Yes.
Yes,
so
quite.
What do we have to lose to him?
What's that?
What do we have to lose to him that he might find of value?
What if we lose false proof that the humans hate fish people?
I think he already knows that.
No, like we get a forgery of a painting that the humans made, and it's just them curb stomping fish people. And it's like, oh, this is art. They have tons of museums of this stuff.
Yes, he may just try to exploit that for himself. He may not care about like becoming our figurehead. He may just say, "Oh yeah, haha, I gotta start selling these to humans. I bet they'd buy them up for like $5."
Why does losing to him make him want to be your
Five.
biggest-
I forgot.
$7.
It was suggested to me, and I've been running with it.
Okay,
I have forgotten.
I had no plan.
I'm just not understanding that.
Well, we
Well,
can,
but
you're
if,
the
but if
strategist,
we beat
not
him
me.
at gambling, he's not likely to want us.
that is true.
Can't we just have a
Unless-
conversation?
Unless we beat him really badly and to let him out of the debt.
He has to
He has
kill
to-
the
He has to
beast.
get a job. Yes, I like it. You have just the job for him.
A job. How
What we need to
devious.
do is break his spirit by having really good business cards.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
No, it's not.
We can make them out of ingots.
It's in the movie.
What movie?
Jesus. What's a movie?
One of them could be an eggshell one, and
Very tasteful. Very.
very tasteful. The thickness of it.
So yeah, well, we can try diplomacy first. If he doesn't seem amenable to it, we'll just beat him savagely at the classic game of gambling. And he'll have to do what we say.
There's no game specified. It's the game of gambling.
You can't spell game without gambling,
Yeah, I mean, true.
or the other way around. Indeed.
It's gambling.
Gambling, yes.
I like to think now that the fish people, they don't have specific games of gambling. They just it's always just bets.
Yes.
Like, I bet that this will be that. I bet that this will be that. I bet my die will roll higher than your die. And it's all just
the weighted
gambling.
dice.
I feel like they have
have weighted dice.
created an actual gambling game, but it's
The
the
game of
only
life.
one. So they just call it gambling. It's the gambling.
It's always dice every time.
It's not poker or craps, it's just gambling.
I like it.
We have a beautiful language, we fish people.
You know,
Yes, that. Shall we take the... I don't suppose we need to take the dragon. We could just take a boat. We don't think we're going to need to rain death and destruction upon.
Kobe is going to stare at you angrily and then slap on the flying helmet.
Very good.
Alright.
Do we tell the humans that they should be in charge first, or do we tell the carp?
I ain't talking to our humans.
I think... I do feel like we should influence the humans first.
We don't.
Just in case somebody checks.
But what if they win while we're busy?
Win what?
Well, if they think they're in charge, what if they go up there?
They're
and
still just
actually in charge.
they just take it over.
Well, it's still just one faction against everybody else.
Well, did we
If
take
the
a
humans-
census to see if they might outnumber them, or?
That doesn't make any mathematical
It's been
sense.
established
There's
that
3
it's 30.
factions. If one faction can beat the other 2 factions in the time it takes us to convince a figurehead, I feel like perhaps they just deserve to win.
This doesn't help us.
And then we can enslave them.
It'd be weird if humans outnumbered them anyway, because they have crabs on one side and fish on the other, and humans are nowhere near them. I don't know what they're even doing up here. He's got like 2 humans, and then we're just gonna turn 100 people against them.
It turned out to be
It
much
seems
easier
much
than
easier.
that.
We're here on a work exchange program now. I'm an intern. I don't know what the fuck.
Alright, so we can have your ghosts infect the minds of humans at any time. Yes.
I think we'd have to go up there to find the humans that work there.
Could. We could send ghosts on a boat,
Could just-
and they could just
I
do it.
don't think the ghosts need a boat. They're ghosts.
Can they swim?
They can just ghost.
Okay. How far can they ghost?
Your ghosts
Well,
drown.
they do have specific abilities, right?
Yeah. I assume so.
Someone
we made
slapped
this
that
mistake
pizza
last
over
time.
here.
Well, manifest physically is one of the abilities that they can choose, so I assume that by default they are not manifested
Correct.
physically, meaning
Yeah.
they don't need a boat.
So well, what abilities did you pick for them?
Become invisible and possess the weak-minded.
Okay, so yeah, they can probably float above the water then. I think
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Unless one of the abilities is fly.
No, they're not like tethered to me, or are they?
They
Like,
just
I can
walk
send them
under
off
the
and do
water.
something?
Yeah, I assume they can probably float above the water. Maybe they can't fly up buildings and things, but yeah, there's probably something like that.
So we're working on
It doesn't matter much since they
Back
can't
to the
manifest.
Future hoverboard rules, where it just doesn't work over water, but you still hover. You just
Yeah.
can't forward for some reason.
It's more so that because they can't manifest physically, it doesn't really matter much where they can go anyways.
Understandable.
Yeah.
They have to walk on the ocean floor.
It's not like they could fly up and grab something for you. They can't manifest physically. So, it's fine if they fly a little bit. They can have a little flying as a treat.
Once they can manifest physically, they're too heavy.
Yeah, didn't I send them up into the tower that we got
Yeah.
the thing?
They could have just gone through the wall and then gone up the stairs, though.
They could have.
They're polite.
So,
Yes.
Yes.
we've got many ideas here. Are we settling on Carp Town as a target for now, or are we going up to the company to convince people up there?
I vote
humans
for
up there.
Carp Town.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to tackle the fish side first and go to Carp Town to find a candidate for fish mayor of the
Yes.
company. Unless,
But we
Yeah,
can
both
send the
of you.
ghosts
If we don't
on a
find
quest to go to the
somebody-
company.
We're
right.
gonna have
Then
a
we have to have
fisherman
a
instead of a
different
foreman.
Yeah, if you convince the people first and then you don't find a fish, then the people might just overthrow it and completely
Yeah.
backfire.
Yeah, but then we can overthrow the people. I mean, they're
True.
naked monkeys. They're fine. We can,
They don't even have any scales.
yeah.
I think it's weird that Plan B isn't violence. Plan C,
Plan-
though.
No, Plan B is violence. Plan B is
Plan
Well,
B
okay,
is
so-
convince humans and just hope it all works out.
that's part of Plan A.
Yeah. Plan B is always violence. If you come
Yes.
up with any other plans, then that becomes C automatically. All right.
Everyone's dead. I guess now we'll try talking to them.
Exactly.
Thankfully, we have ghosts.
Precisely. So, now that you've decided... Where are you going? You want more pizza?
Always.
Which one?
I don't know.
Here,
scoot
just
it.
have both of them.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So, there's a few different ways you could tackle this plan,
He
like
has
normal.
no idea.
It's okay. We don't need the map.
Yeah.
No, we don't need the map right now, you're right. We're just using the world map. So, you could try and ambush them. Doesn't really sound super likely to do much, but it could be. Maybe you ambush a specific
Yeah.
target and blackmail. You could make an assault. You could make a negotiation. You could do a bit of stealth. You could make a calculated strike. Or you could commit a bit of trickery. Those are the different types of plans you can go on
I
here.
think we try to talk to them because they're going to be a subservient, possible second vile friend.
Negotiation seems like the avenue to pursue.
And if it doesn't work, maybe we can just kidnap everybody involved.
That's a possibility. They may outnumber us.
That's their problem.
Who, the cart?
So if you want to go in talking, that sounds like negotiation to me rather than
Yes.
trickery. Especially if you want to keep a long-term relationship with this person. Probably better to negotiate.
How does Bateman feel about the Salmon sisters?
I don't know.
Because they hate us.
Well, a lot
So-
of people hate me.
We do know that Carpolomew and Bateman have a bad history.
Yes.
So you're starting off on a bad foot already. But whether or not they know the Salmon Sisters or are super opposed to them, I think Carptown has cutthroat enough business and gambling that yes, they are opposed
know
forces.
They're in the same
Triplets.
business. They're probably clashing.
Exactly.
Does she know the trap triplets?
I do
Can we
not
send
know.
them as emissaries?
I think anyone that winds up subservient to us is low tier in Fish Society. Because why the hell would they just leave to live in our dungeon otherwise?
Because I paid them money. They are tinkery, skulky, smashy trouts. So they may have been in a slightly different line of business than just pure gambling.
I got the trench
We
coat.
could send them to seduce him.
So you do bring up a good question though.
Yeah.
Why would Bateman want to take this offer? Is he in a bad spot? Do you need to put him in a bad spot? Do you have something to offer him?
Right.
We offer.
Maybe we need to do some investigation as to where he currently stands in relation to his allies and enemies and his assets, so we can leverage that against him.
Does he want to be rubbing shoulders with basically the crime boss leader of the mountain crabs? Because they're light and dark opposed, and we're trying to get them to work together to take over a light.
Right.
So we need to make this an opportunity to escape the light. You know all those fucking rules that you have in Carptown? They don't have those in crab territory.
Like they have a completely different set of rules.
Yeah, I
in
was gonna
Crab
say.
territory.
You say as they were all in the exact same uniform, like literally feeding grapes to one big lobster. They don't have rules over there.
If you
But
want,
technically, they're not the same rules as in Carptown.
True.
if you want to really one up the competition here, you get the mob in your back pocket, and by the mob I mean the lob.
You get the lob. Yeah, you want to get on the
Like-
good side of the lob.
And if not, you get the pizzas. So we should go in as mafioso emissaries, where we offer just a really nice, great deal. And when they inevitably reject it, it immediately becomes a threat. It's like paying for protection from us.
My vote is to investigate his standing so we can exploit his weaknesses.
So, I think if you want to do that, which is, I think, a very good idea, doing things like big investigations like that can take some time. And we've already had several other investigations recently here as you investigated the company, you went and you talked to the mountain crabs and so on and so forth. And the minions in your tower are growing restless. If you don't go on a raid soon, the stash is all going to run out. Your minions are going to be upset because you're not following the dungeon logic. So you could do that. You could do some other unrelated raid in the meantime to appease your minions, and in the meantime gather some information for next time. You could go straight there.
He's a greedy businessman.
We could go commit crimes and bring
best
the
of my
humans.
knowledge.
Pitching him a
Could do that
half a
too.
controlling interest in the company. Yeah.
Yes, well, that's what we wanted him to have at the
Well, yes.
very least.
Would that just not be easier?
Perhaps.
What we should
commit
do,
crimes and frame
That we
humans
have
for
a
it.
plan to give,
Oh, I hope so.
we
Get
should
him
find
half an
someone that he
interest.
hates, and then fuck him up.
He hates
Not
him.
you.
That's what somebody hates, stand up, and then fuck them up.
In fucking someone up, we can raid someone else on his behalf and show up like, we just fucked over the Salmon Sisters and this person
Yes.
you hate.
So, since we will want to keep the minions happy, perhaps we just set out with the intention of causing some violence, but our negotiations with him will determine where we point our violence. It may become indiscriminate.
Do you want
makes sense.
discriminate violence or indiscriminate violence?
Both will work in a pinch.
Pinches the crab claw.
Well then, shall we? Do we have other perspectives aside from negotiation then with him?
There's other options potentially. I mean, you could ambush him somewhere,
Yes.
show a show of force, right? And be like, hey, this could keep happening if you don't work with us. Or there's other
Yes.
stuff. I do like the idea of negotiation, though. I don't want to influence you all too much, but whatever you're feeling.
Well, if he's a cutthroat businessman, there's definitely business rivals.
Mm-hmm.
So let's figure out what shouldn't take too much investigative time. What he even fucking does,
Yeah.
and what his McDonald's versus Burger King rival is, and then hit that.
And then just come to him later and say, look at the favor we've already done for you to show where our interests lie.
We've taken 2 ships from the sisters.
We have done that.
Yeah, I mean, if he hates the sisters,
So what does Gilly Bateman do? My first instinct was gambling, but I feel like everybody does gambling
Yes.
in Carp Town, so that's more of a hobby than a business. Or if that is his business, what's his hobby? Because it almost doesn't count if it's gambling.
He makes the weighted dice.
He makes the weighted dice. That would be interesting. So he's got the weighted dice business going there.
I imagine none of them have weighted dice, otherwise no one would ever win.
They're all cleverly weighted so that each side has an equal chance of coming up.
Maybe he
They'll
just
never
has
say
a
that.
very successful dice business in general.
Yeah.
Maybe
He
there's
makes, like,
allegations of
luxury
them being weighted, but
sets.
maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe he owns just a casino, which is the same as a bed and breakfast for fish people.
The casino, otherwise known as like the general store
Yes.
downtown. Yeah. The park in the middle of the
I need
town.
to buy some egg and milk and bread. Alright. High or low?
The cashiers are all just professional gamblers.
Incredible.
Man, I hope I get to eat this week.
Oh, bummer.
Okay, I really like the idea of him being like a dice tycoon.
Yeah.
Did we ever establish what the Salmon Sisters did? We just said they were
I don't
rivals.
think we did. I think they.
They had a boat, so they had to be something, maybe fishers.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. So let's say Gilly Bateman makes dice, and perhaps perhaps his
they
dice are
transported
controversial.
things.
Right. What's up?
I thought they transported things up down the river.
They may have done both.
They may have done both. They had big boats, either way. Had being the key word. But yeah, so you've got Gilly Bateman, the dice tycoon, the Salmon Sisters, who run some sort of boat business, whether it's shipping or fishing or whatever, maybe both.
Maybe they brought dice in from other manufacturers and undercut his monopoly. As one of the several things they do.
So we already did it. Right?
Is fishing like a black market business? Like,
No,
this is
surprisingly.
definitely transport, and then they just hide the fishing poles.
No, I like to think that they are a fishing town, and if anything, they very suspiciously transport things also, and that's the unofficial part. Because I just love the idea of fishermen that are fish.
Yes, I feel like we may have previously established
Yes.
that fish can't understand why you would think it's weird that they
Yeah, exactly.
the fish people eat fish.
I just imagined one of these fish people, human up to here, huge fish head, slamming their face into the water over the side of the boat and just screaming at the fish, "Hey, get in the boat!"
That's pretty good. So, I've got a couple questions then. We're going for negotiation. We've already answered, are you there in good faith? You know, do you have a good standing? which no, you don't have a good stand. We've sort of answered, but we have an opportunity to change it. What are you offering? Protection, basically, or influence with the
Half
with
the
lob?
company, the lob bother. We got a couple things going on, but if all of them fails, it's strong arming.
So where if cooperation, we are offering wealth and a position of political power, as well as maybe taking care of things that might be annoying him that he doesn't want to get his hands dirty with.
But if he refuses the offer,
Maybe he refuses, we may have to resort to breaking his fins.
Oh,
He doesn't have fins, I don't think. But don't worry about it.
they've got dorsal fins at least.
Removing the fingernails from his fins.
Yes.
The scales from his fins?
Yeah.
All right. So, mob tactics are what you're offering.
Yeah.
That's what you're selling. And
Professionals.
exactly, where's the meeting spot? When and where are you meeting him?
I feel like we should do it in a location where he's a little off guard, like the outhouse.
what if he just wakes up in the middle of the night to us jumping through the windows and doors of his bedroom, Spetsnaz style?
Oh, assuming he
Whoa,
doesn't
man.
have like security systems.
We're good. We can get through that.
Just throws dice at you.
They're heavy. They're weighted.
Unleash the weighted metal dice.
I keep rolling against all of them, but there's too many.
I do like ambushing him in the middle of the.
I like that idea. It doesn't actually physically harm you with the dice, but fish people are incapable from seeing dice rolled and not rolling against them, so you're just stuck there all night.
It's like how a Pokemon trainer gets challenged to a battle and can't just be like, nah.
Exactly.
You're stuck. He saw you.
It's a law.
Yeah.
It's a law of their psyche. Okay, so that's an option. You could break
Yes.
into his house late
Let's
night.
not though.
Oh, really? Why not? We could also.
You
no,
could
if
you
we
could
steal
go
stuff
from like he kind of hates you to like he kind of hates you and you broke in to start the foot off on
Yeah,
the
that's-
negotiation. Yeah.
That's true.
Well, we take a bunch of his shit and we ransom him back if he's good.
He's a self-important businessman. Either we approach him in a place where he's going to be angry that we lacked so much decorum as to come and embarrass him in public, or we meet him in a place where he feels like he has a position of power and we might have a harder time of it.
Let's just go to his fucking office.
Yeah, that's that.
A show of power, just right on his front door.
That's us being confident. Like, we just burst into his office like we own the place. He's
All right.
going to accept this damn
I'll
deal.
vote for the office.
Power move.
What dost thou think?
I mean, maybe not the power move. I
Oh,
don't think that's.
so you don't want us to break into his house, and you don't want us to visit his office? Where
I don't want you to visit his outhouse either.
Well, that's all the options.
We've run out of
Well,
buildings.
where would you like us to meet him then?
I think his office is fine, but I think we should just, make an appointment like a normal person.
A power appointment.
But what if he says he doesn't want to meet us?
Yeah, we will.
So the outhouse, if he says no.
Sure. That's plan B.
He sits down and he
I
hears,
thought Plan B was
hello, we
violence.
were like,
Plan B is violence in the outhouse.
Violence in the outhouse, the name of our episode.
Yes.
You know what? It worked for Tyrion with Tywin.
Yeah.
We'll just take
Alright.
the outhouse.
Alright,
and
so-
carry it with us.
We'll approach Plan B if necessary.
So plan A is the office. Right?
Yeah.
The office.
Okay, so that's the answer to the question. So, well, let's also answer one more question that's not on here, but I think is relevant. Daytime or nighttime?
daytime for plan A.
Yeah, presumably he's going to be in the office during the day.
And the outhouse at night.
I'll vote for day.
Okay,
And I think if we're going to the office, it should be daytime.
so you head out in your big old. Well, I
Or
guess.
the barge.
Do you head out on the barge to the Fisher Town, or do you?
No,
just
we gotta fly
slam
the
down
dragon.
with the
We gotta find his parking
Yeah,
lot
we
and
gotta-
just
Let's take the dragon.
Dragon. Excellent. So,
soda.
You can't take the man's parking spot, but we will park in the handicap spot with no remorse.
We are the villains.
all right.
I just imagined like a fish with a flipper in a cast, and that's not at all what's going on here.
No, I don't think so.
So, you are equal tier to the faction tier. The other faction tier.
A retarded fish person is. Dang.
Yeah,
Just roll the triple ones already.
I know. Well, that's the thing, is I might not roll 3 dice here. This faction has been hit by you before. So that's -1. I think the target is okay. So I'll give you one die overall.
Okay. we
This
got
one die
this.
will decide your fate.
Cool. This can't go wrong.
Nope. That is a 1.
Can we give it dark arts?
Can you give it dark arts?
Can we? That's the thing.
It's
Not for the
about time
engagement
our
roll.
luck went bad.
It is about time.
We've had
It's
really good engagement.
You
rolls
have.
for our units.
really good engagement and blowback rolls. All of the like meta rolls I get to roll, I've rolled very well.
We
Okay,
appreciate that.
exactly. It's gone extremely well for you
Until then.
until now. So you fly your dragon out there. This great
Yes.
big soaring spectacle that I believe is clumsy, but it still manages to fly.
We
What
can
was,
barely control this thing.
yeah, what was the downside? I think it was clumsy. It's like
Yes.
slow or clumsy.
It's fast, armored, and clumsy.
Fast, armored, and clumsy. So you scream through the sky, kind of wiggling and wobbling as you scream through the sky in this glorious, shiny metal object that like
Literally
creates.
screaming.
Yeah, it creates a shadow on the ground and a flare in the air as you fly somehow, and it just dives across. So people almost see like a shooting star during the day, and they can see
Yeah.
the shadow of a dragon. And then you just arc downwards. Maybe Kobe pulls a lever and the wings fold in. And you
Incredible.
tuck down towards the
Yeah, we don't have a landing system. That's why it needs to be started.
It's very sturdy.
Also
The
don't have
whole
a takeoff system except at home.
exactly. Yeah, you have to. It's gonna be tricky to get it home.
Yes.
We just ignore that part.
You send the barge anyways. You maybe take a barge and then you land and take the barge back. Anyways, we see a bird's eye view, or a dragon's eye view in this case, of Carp Town from above. As you come soaring in, the image rapidly approaches us, and then with a loud clang, bricks from the stone roads go flying everywhere. There's a dust cloud, screams of terror, and
I imagine several pedestrians are killed.
yeah. And you have essentially opened up your mission of negotiation with a terrorist act as you plunge into the middle of an intersection
sounds
and
like
explode the intersection everywhere. And
And
the
then just-
hatch on the dragon, yeah, opens up slowly and you all stumble out. Dust still falling down. People running, screaming
You
everywhere.
acted like a monster. Check.
Yes, true. We'll get to that. So what do you all do? You're in the like intersection square right outside this guy's office.
I'm gonna jump out in an oversized business suit.
Okay, excellent.
We'll
Sleeves
swagger
just
into the
dragging.
front door.
I have a briefcase that is perfectly sized for Kobe, making the oversized business suit make even less sense.
It's a backgammon set.
Are your ghosts along with us? Can they throw confetti at our sides?
No.
Okay.
They
And I'm
can't
just-
manifest physically. No ghost confetti.
They can jazz hands.
They can.
So you walk out in your fancy business suit, and somebody across the square goes, "Oh my god, that's the one that ate my dog! Oh my god!" And just is pointing and screaming at you. Because Kobe was caught eating a dog here.
I immediately drop to the ground and start crying.
Look what you did! You made Kobe cry.
I loved him so much.
Why are you crying?
Aren't you ashamed of yourself?
Yeah.
Not you.
Why am I ashamed of it? He ate my dog!
Racist. Do they all look the same to you?
I'm pretty sure it's that one.
I was me. I ate.
Why aren't you talking?
I'm sorry, puppy.
And take a step away from you.
So there's this
Anyway.
angry person who has stopped from running and screaming away and is now just like berating Kobe.
I'm glad they can all speak
What else we do?
monster.
Putting on the cloak of invisibility.
Out of that situation.
Telling my minions to watch the ship, and I'm going to see if I can slip into the office building we're in.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and give me is it a skulk roll, a sneak roll? Skulk. Give me a skulk roll to enter that building. Sneaky.
5 and a 4.
5. Okay. So, you
Does he get
do.
advantage or something as he's invisible? What
That's
is
a
the
good
cloak?
point. I think in this case, I should have told you the stakes ahead of time. I think what this will be is a reduced effect result of the roll. So you go to try and sneak into this building, and there's so many people pouring out of different doors and windows just trying to escape here. They're like, somebody dove through the front window of the place, and people are keep on pushing open the door, and there's nowhere for you to really get in sneakily.
Okay.
So you're invisible, and no one spotted you, but you haven't made it into the building yet.
Alright, well then I will get to some advantageous place where I don't think somebody's going to run me over and wait for my opportunity.
Gladys, what are you doing?
I'd like to do the same because I don't know him. I've never seen him before in my life.
Understandable.
I don't have an invisibility cloak. I do have a shawl that is stealthy.
So you're trying to also sneak into the building?
Well,
Rita.
yeah.
Or just disappear,
You
basically?
Just, yeah, and not be noticed.
Okay, so you exit from literally exploding a bomb in the middle of
Well, he's
the...
causing a ruckus.
Exactly, you got a
Looking at him.
distraction. Okay, so I think this will be a pretty standard roll. You've got the bonus of a distraction here. There's
How many
nobody...
dice is pretty standard roll?
It's whatever number of dice are on your skulk.
Skulk. 2. A 2 and a 3.
A 2 and a 3. Okay, so you like back slowly away from the distraction of Kobe crying on the floor while this very angry fish person just points their finger at him. Who is also crying. There's just multiple people crying. It's a very emotional
There's
scene.
like 6 people laying dead under the thing. People are crying about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
And so you turn around and you bump directly into a fish person in a police uniform
Of course I do.
who has just walked around the corner and like
They have
you
a little
both
police
tried to-
hat way up on the
Yes, yeah, exactly. They have a police cap that's like covering their mouth, and they have to keep on lifting it up to talk. 'cause it's like-
This is your people.
So they just look down at you menacingly
We're majestic.
with its 2 eyes on the side of it. Like, yeah.
It looks down at you, man.
Yeah, it looks down at you menacingly.
He ate a dog. Did you hear that? That's awful. You should do something.
Don't speak.
I think that sounds like a trick to me.
That's
Yeah,
right.
do you not speak light tongue? That's right. So you see this
If you're
police officer.
screeching.
He's just saying something and just starts to reach for some.
I wish.
I don't know if
could read the
handcuffs would
words
work
I
on
can
fish.
say.
I guess they have human hands.
We do
so,
have human hands.
So he pulls out some handcuffs.
Go kill now.
Wow.
Those are the words I can remember.
And you
slash
point
read.
you point at Kobe.
Yes.
Okay, give me
Kobe,
a
you may
trick
not
roll. I
survive this
think if you're trying to trick him into going for Kobe.
Trick. Oh, cool. That's what, 1 die?
Yeah.
That's a 1.
You point out your
let's
hand
see.
and yes.
So I can let you re-roll a failure
Oh,
there
cool.
Oh, okay.
if I take a stress.
Yes, and don't forget your dark hearts and stuff too. Those
Oh,
are
I can add a
options.
die to that, right?
Yeah, normally you have to do it beforehand. We haven't done it in a while, so I'll let you do it. But
Can I do it beforehand on a reroll?
sure.
Cool.
So you can spend a dark heart.
Sorry, Kobe. 4 and a 5.
4 and a 5.
And I get a little slash through the trick thing, right?
If you had no dots in it. you can
I don't
slash.
have any.
Oh, if you had
You've
0
already
dots?
got 1 slash. Huh?
I got 1 slash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But,
So if you had 1 slash, you should roll 2 dice and take the lower. So just actually roll 1 die for me because you added a dark heart. That's all.
Okay. 5.
A 5. Okay, so it's the same result. That's good.
Okay.
So yeah, now you add an extra tick to it.
Okay. So,
Okay, yeah, sorry. It has to be fully filled in for you to get 1 die from the roll. If it's not, then it counts as a 0 die roll, which is to take the lower instead of take the higher. But since you added a dark heart, that goes up to a 1 die, which is what you did. But anyways,
I will pretend I understand that.
okay. So, with that consequence, I think what he is going to do is quickly scribble something on a notepad and tuck that away and like keep one of his eyes on you as he walks over to Kobe. So you're not free from suspicion at the moment, but he is no longer directly on top of you.
I'm trying to disappear into the crowd if he's not looking.
Okay, give me another skulk roll. This time it is going to be, I think, a dire roll. There are going to be more severe
no.
consequences if you fail this.
Shit.
'Cause he's got his eye on you.
Jump in the lead.
2 2s.
2 2s. All right, you try to tiptoe away while he has his eye on you, and you just see the eye follow you, and he just turns right
I
back
forgot
around.
he's got an eye on each side.
Yes,
of his head.
exactly. It's
That
the
was dumb.
strategic fishman technique.
Fish people mothers are very hard to evade.
Eyes on the sides, eyes on the back of their head. So you try to tiptoe away, and he just immediately turns around, just claps a why am I blanking on it? Handcuff. Handcuff. I don't know why that word
It's a
left my
tricky
brain.
I know that feel.
It just my brain reached for it. It wasn't there. He just
It's a
slaps one handcuff to your wrist and then the other to his wrist and just pulls you along towards Kobe. So you're currently handcuffed to this police officer.
Beautiful.
And he goes, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." He's pointing his other hand out at you two. What are you two doing?
So I'm going to just loom over the fish person who's babbling in a tongue I cannot understand at Kobe. Just say, hey, if I were you, I'd just get lost right now. As threatening as I can.
I think the fish people have a common communication, so.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll threaten then.
Alright.
I mean, they have to have
It's
scoped
a
something
standard.
I understood for me to realize I said the word dog, because that ain't on this list.
I think this is also a dire roll.
I was like, I may have repeated and said, you ate their dog? Alright, 3.
3, okay. So they look at you and they get a little scared, and then they look over at the police officer nearby. And you just hear them shouting, pointing at you, and the officer starts to move towards both of you much swifter, pulling out like a knife with his other hand. That's
I
not
imagine a
handcuffed.
crowd has gathered.
Or not a knife. He's got like a baton that he can beat you with.
Police issued knife.
Yes. I was thinking like a sword at first, but I was like, he can't wield it with one hand. He can do a baton though. Just bang. Like a
This is
club.
pretty tricky. We may need to beat a hasty retreat.
I'm going to snap out of remorse and immediately go into being full coward, which are 2 of my default states. And I'm just going to throw a bunch of fake money everywhere,
Okay.
which I have.
A bunch of fake money. Is that in your
Fake
supply?
money is my supply item.
Okay, so check off 1 supply. I like that.
So I
Throw
Why
a
do you
whip
have
whole
fake
bunch of
money?
fake money.
for exactly this situation.
That was good forethought.
Yeah, that's a good supply item. So you just scatter a bunch of fake money everywhere.
Insurance has come.
That kind of sounds like trick to me. Do you have a better idea for a skill? I'm trying to trick people's attention elsewhere.
You get gold now! More gold! More gold!
Convenient.
So you
I'm
just
going
sound
to play it
deranged.
off like I'm doing some kind of very business-like promotion.
Okay.
The one where you kill somebody's dog.
So that definitely
And then
sounds
crash
like
your
a
plane
trick
into their
then.
parking lot and kill them.
I'm gonna use Dark Heart.
Oh, okay, I'll allow it. You gotta do it beforehand,
Forgot.
but that's okay. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
6.
6. Okay. So you just more gold, you get gold now. Throw money everywhere. And with a 6, a full success, not only does the person who is berating you and crying, like angry crying at you, like watch the money fly away and then walk on over to it. The police officer also like watches the money fly up in the
Point
air.
up to the police officer. You get gold. You
Yeah,
get gold.
and starts thinking of all of the gambling he could do. That much money.
Think of
flying
the
up in the air.
gambling you could play.
Yes, his eyes don't turn to dollar signs; they turn to dice as he follows.
Do they turn
the
to sand dollars?
Sand dollars, yes, exactly. Maybe that's the fake money. You threw sand dollars everywhere.
Can I take this opportunity to bludgeon him in the back of the head?
Sure, he's very
Or
distracted.
sand,
Kobe skedaddles away since you've tricked,
Okay.
and that was the goal.
I would like to use a dark card.
Okay,
Is that reroll one die or is that reroll every die?
it adds
Or
one
you're
extra die.
hole in the
That's
wall.
one die. Hole in the wall? I do not know. Cat
It's
probably
cat.
does.
Yeah, it's cat.
How?
A drill?
He is a kitty.
That is a 4.
A 4.
That's
Okay.
the inverse of an explanation. That is in fact the cause of the need of one.
So you walk up to this police officer fishman, and you try to make a swing at him, but unfortunately, much like fish mothers are very hard to evade, fish cops are also very hard to evade. So he's watching the money with one eye, and watching Gladys with the other eye, he catches a glint of you in the eye that was watching Gladys. And so he just swings around with his club to block your strike, and you knock his club out of his hand, which goes like scattering
Yeah.
to the ground, but you don't actually hit him yet.
Rival them up, boys!
Excellent. Did anyone bring minions with them, by the way?
I did not.
Mine
Yeah.
are guarding the ship.
Right. Okay.
I don't think we have free
Yours
minions.
come with you
Mine
for free if
always
you want
with
them.
me,
Yeah, if you want them to, they're with you for free. Those minions.
Non-corporeally occupies liver.
Occupy liver.
So there's an opportunity here as this fish cop's club has
Yes.
clattered to the ground.
I'm gonna scurry
jumping
and
in?
grab his club.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So this sounds kind of finessey to me, unless you have a different idea. If you want to like, quickly snatch it, or
I would...
if you have a different idea, I'm open to it.
I have an idea.
Do you?
I would
I
like-
have acid.
That's not gonna help me get his club.
No, but it'll help me get her out of the cuff to the man.
Can I instead
can you
smash
burn
the
his
club so
hand
it cannot
off?
be picked back up?
Sure, just like kick it away, or
Yes,
like okay.
I would like to. 6.
6, excellent. So you get in there and you just kick the club away, and it goes spinning off, smashes through a window on the other side
It's
of
another
the.
dog.
Yeah, yeah. So you hear the sound of
Police
smashing.
brutality! I shout.
Yeah, smashing glass and the yelp of a dog on the other side. This distracts the person.
dog.
Yeah, this distracts the fish person who was berating Kobe, who's picking up sand dollars off the ground and then says, "Oh no!" drops the sand dollars and runs off towards the building.
They could have afforded a new dog.
Yeah, they have to buy a new window.
Well, too late now. So, that's the current situation. Kobe, you had a plan?
I mean, we gotta get her uncuffed, right?
Yeah, she's still cuffed
It'd be
to
nice,
the,
yeah.
the cop.
We chop off
Well,
an
yeah.
arm.
I just have acid. I'm
Somebody's
gonna
arm. Okay.
acid the link on the cuff.
Arms are easier to remove with acid than handcuffs, I
Yeah,
assume.
probably.
No, it takes longer.
Okay.
It is,
Does it?
it is thicker. I don't know.
That's
So are you
true.
heading towards her?
I guess.
Okay, I do have a set of manacles. I assume I have a key to these.
Are they universal?
I have no idea.
Did you buy a fish net?
A universal
I
manacle key
probably
is so
picked them
funny.
up there. I can't imagine where else I would have gotten them. But I'm going to throw the key over towards her from where I'm standing there.
Oh man, that's
That'll
To
definitely
be
work.
fair, handcuffs generally don't have very sophisticated keys. 'Cause they're not intended to be very long-term solutions.
All right, so Metal, thinking ahead, has this key ready, throws it to Gladys.
I catch it flawlessly first try.
Absolutely, and I think how I'm going to handle this here is just a luck roll to see if the key fits.
Cool.
So, or a fortune roll, as it should be called. That's a 2, unfortunately. So like you put the key in,
Sorry, yeah.
and you're not noticed yet, but yeah, the key just doesn't quite fit this. Maybe the fish people. Yeah, that's a key to manacles, where
It's a
you got
big,
hit with
like,
handcuffs.
skeleton
It's a little
key looking
different.
thing.
Can I pull out the key to my bug cage, which is one of my supplies?
Let's
just try to
Hand
pull
that
the
over.
I like the idea of the manacle key. I don't know. It's a completely unrelated key.
if you like.
It's a thin key. You could just use it to pick the lock.
Have you ever seen those kids' plastic handcuffs? They come with like a fake key, but also there's a lever on them.
Yeah.
They just had like one of them fake.
Ah, yes. So you're still handcuffed.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask the handcuff.
Acid the handcuff.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna sneak right over.
No, I'm just gonna run up there and be like, "Eh," and then run away. And I'm going to use a dark bargain to get a die roll, but make the consequences worse.
Okay. That sounds good to
Is the
me.
consequence going to be burning my
I
hand
hope
off?
so. Little miss, kill him. He ate your dog.
Look, man.
That was you.
6.
A 6. Okay. So the dark bargain actually it doesn't make the consequences worse. It guarantees a consequence
Oh, neat. I'll do
in
that.
addition to it. Yeah. So that's fine. I just wanted to clarify the
That
level.
turns the 6 to a 5. 'Cause it's
Basically,
successful. I'm good.
normally we would agree upon the consequence ahead of time, but that's fine. So for this one, I think it does make sense that you pull out the acid and you're rushed to spill it. I'm gonna make a luck roll again.
He spills it on someone's dog.
Yes.
There's a lot of dogs in this.
1 to
He
3.
spilled it on himself.
1 to 3, Kobe gets acid on himself. 4 to 5, you get acid on both of you. And then the 6, the acid only goes to Gladys. No. That's a 4. So you both get acid on you as you just fling this
Yeah.
acid. You probably also get some
The
on the
police
cop.
officer too.
Yes, absolutely. So you pull out this acid, and then seconds
just
later, all
everywhere.
3 of you are screaming in pain.
My plan is to just carefully pour it on there, but instead I just run up.
Exactly, you
I-
shatter the bottle. and
You
just-
are wearing a massively oversized suit.
I likely had my bear trap open and was running over to chop somebody's arm off, and I like bump into you.
Oh no!
Somebody's arm.
Yeah.
So
Not even one of the 2 people involved.
So all 3 of you take shock to muscles, or I guess not you, Carpalmi. Sorry,
Okay.
the police
I'd have
officer
taken
will.
it.
Yeah, he's like trying to. He's pulling out like a water flask and like dumping it over his
Yeah.
arm and trying to get rid of this acid. So all of you are injured now.
I had-
Mitsubishi.
I had
Yes.
one dot on the brains thing that was cleared right at the end of the last one, but I didn't have my sheet last time.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. What the hell did I
I'm
just
still
roll?
looking for a chance to get inside this building.
Yes. So we'll head back
Drag
now that Gladys is finally free, and I would expect all 3 of you are now skedaddling. What is Metal doing?
Trying to sneak into the building.
This has
here.
definitely
Okay.
not caught the attention of anybody in the building.
Definitely not. So yeah, Metal, give me another skulk roll. We'll see. The crowds have calmed down a little bit now. Most people have gotten out of the building.
They're really distracted by the money.
Yes.
A 4.
A 4. Okay. So, what is a good consequence for successfully sneaking in, but something else happens?
You get in, but there's someone who didn't leave their post. Like the fucking janitor.
It's just still in there cleaning up. I like that.
Been here
There's a
70 years. This
Yeah.
happens once in a while.
a very elderly fish janitor with a long beard. And like, yeah, he's just
the
he's
mouth is
mopping
up
in
here,
there.
so the beard starts here.
Yeah, exactly. It's an excessive beard. It's glorious. And he's mopping up the floor in there. And you sneak
bucko.
into the building,
He's a what?
and you're like leaving footprints in the mopped
know
up
what-
floor because it's
I
that
don't know.
floor. And he's just noticing the footprints going across and like scratching his head, and he just mops up over them. So people are aware somebody's running around in here, but they don't seem to mind too much just yet.
If he
He had
tries
a much
to,
better idea. He's one of those sucker fish, and instead of a mop, he's just
Okay, so a very, very old, like algae eater type
Yes.
thing. Like he's
he
just
has to talk to him.
yeah.
A
So
living Roomba.
he's just following you around wherever your footsteps are
His
to
Roomba.
clean up the dirt that you're tracking through his perfectly clean floor.
You'll wind up
so it's-
tripping you when he tries to go for the sword.
It's like the bot from Wall-E.
Yes, exactly. He's just following the tracks you're leaving through the building.
And then spaghetti slurping noises.
So
follow
you are not seen, but there's something following you which is seen, and it's very suspicious. So, yeah, I like that.
There goes old Roomba again. Bless his heart.
Roomba Rumbinski.
Hopefully I don't leave footprints as long as OJ did.
So anyway, now we go in the front door, right?
Yeah, so while the cop is like screaming on the ground with acid all over his head, like ah, in agony, All three of you
It's
dash
true.
into
Once
the
we get
building.
in the building, he can't follow us anymore. That's
Metal is sneaking into the building, then all three of you just like burst through the door afterwards.
We're gonna do one of
Given him
those
great cover.
like side by side slow motion walks in through the door. Like,
With fake money wafting
Acid.
around our ankles.
Later on, there's going to be a situation where it's going to be like, well, we can take you. There's only 3 of us, and Metal will be like, actually, there's 4. Like I was here all along.
there's still 12 of us.
We have Roomba too, it's okay.
Probably
Why do
should.
we have Roomba?
We're feeding him now. That means we adopted him.
All right, all 4 of you are inside the building.
Yes.
Finally, the dust clouds are starting to settle. The dust is like still flowing in through the windows. It's bad.
Afternoon.
Lifts his mouth up off the floor. Splat. And then keeps it going. They probably that was fish language for no language at all. He just grunted at you. So the afternoon, he's just like,
Yeah.
just kept moving.
Like how was like 17 syllables.
Yes. It was just an
It's a beautiful
acknowledgement.
language.
It is. It's very verbose.
We're
Is
gonna
this-
look for Bateman's office.
All
None
right.
of us can read, but this one probably.
If it's written in fish, I assume things are written in fish and also the light tongue.
That would make sense for
The light tongue, but like a pseudo variant that is fish.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They're
It's a fishman dialect.
it's a very complicated.
It's half dark and half light.
Can we saunter up to the receptionist desk? Say, looking for Gilly Bateman.
The janitor slowly shuffles over to that desk and then pops up off the floor, now revealing his glorious beard, which was pressed against the floor
Oh,
before.
quite glorious.
It's a little dusty and dirtier now because it's been pressed against the floor quite a lot.
Yeah.
It just says,
Leftovers.
and says in the fish tongue, of course. Bateman's office down that hall, number 7.
Also
Thank
the
you.
receptionist.
Yes, and then he plops back down on the floor and continues
Poor
to janitor,
He deserves better.
following
Roomba
Metal's
and his
footsteps.
wife Rhonda.
Yeah.
Yes, room and Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go to office
Go
number
to office
7.
number 7. And surprisingly,
That's
like
not
all
one
the
of
other
the
office
actual
doors around here are like open, and it looks like people have
Yeah.
recently dashed out of their offices to escape the complete chaos that happened
Yeah.
outside.
Or to run into it and get
Went into
money.
the chaos outside.
Yes, people are just trying to escape. They're running in
Yeah.
a panic. You see, they're not logical.
Such
And
a
all of
shame.
these doors are on the sides, and then there's one big door at the end of the hall that is like extremely ornate. It's got like almost like a gold framing
Yeah.
to it. It's a set of double doors with no visible handles, and like a nice red carpet out in front of it.
Is that number 7?
That's number 7.
I can't count on bursting anyway.
There are more than 7 offices in this hall, but he kept number 7. Room 7.
Shiny door.
All right, you head up to it. There's no doorknob.
You just throw
You
yourself
just
at
gotta
it.
walk
You
into
start
it.
yourself. I mean, you can.
I was trying to just.
You
But
gotta
I have
push.
the sum total strength of a
Doesn't
toddler,
push.
so when it doesn't work, I just.
Collapses into it.
You're supposed to pull the door, not push it. There's no doorknob though, so good luck.
Can I smash the door open?
Sure, give me a smash roll.
6.
All right.
Just knock. I mean,
did.
That's what I'm doing.
okay.
I'm
Yeah.
knocking with passion and purpose.
So you walk up to this door and you reel back your fish fist and pow! And surprisingly, the doors don't like buckle inwards like you'd expect doors to do. Instead, they kind of like separate a little bit, and you push your fist in there, and then and you push both of them out, and you just see a set of couple cables going up to the ceiling, and some weird mechanisms up there, and then a big empty pit down beneath where the cables run down into.
What is this sorcery? What have you
You
seen
said a
anything
door
like
with
this?
no handles, and that didn't even occur to me.
You have found an elevator, but none of you know what it is.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Yeah, we
It was a
have one
trap.
in our house. It's how we got fat ass high up the
Oh! So you're saying they may have something down there waiting for us?
They may have a dragon.
They may have a dragon.
Didn't he say it was on this floor?
I know
He just
it's
said
number
door 7.
Well, I don't see him.
I said down the hall, door 7.
Yeah, this is a hall, a vertical one.
Which one is 7?
See that number? That's 7.
Is it?
Yeah,
It says
There
7
a
in the
button?
fish.
says 7 right there.
Yeah, you look around and there's like a button on the wall.
See,
next
it
to it.
says that's 7.
It's written in
Can
bullshit.
we reach the button?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. A mechanism.
As the cables start moving, the elevator rises up to meet you. It gets kind of stuck where the doors got buckled inward, so it kind of creak, 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 sticks up, and then you hear a nice pleasant ding.
Yours work better.
I do. It's powered by fat.
All right, everybody in. Where's metal?
So where's Okay, so you 3 head in, and for a second you don't notice that you're missing a member because you have a 4th person with you. It's the algae eater followed you into the elevator. And you're just like, oh yeah, there's 3. You have all 4 people. And so you hit the button, you start hearing some pleasant elevator music go do 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 do, and then it starts descending, but it's like scrape, scrape, and then you fall like 5 feet, and then it starts going normally. The algae eater does not seem
They
phased.
must
by
have
any-
changed shifts.
And
Kirby's just like,
yes, you see the number 7 on the elevator tick down to 6, 5, 4, all the way down to 1. And then the doors open up again. This time there's no grinding or crunching.
how the
It's open
fuck were
normal.
we on floor 7?
You went underground.
The lobby is 7.
Yes.
Is this how it's supposed to happen? I ask the algae eater.
He pops his mouth off the gross, which translates to yes. So that
Oh,
pops his
okay
mouth off.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And he's just sitting there in the elevator with you because I assume Metal hasn't left
Yes.
yet, and he's just following Metal around. So
We have
A
to
helpful fellow.
fucking... Every
You should give him
time
a tip.
you want to know what floor you need to go to, you have to be aware of how many basements there are because it changes the number that the bottom floor is.
oh,
Fish people are dumb.
that would have been so much better if it went down to 1 and then 0. -1, it just kept going. But no, you're down on floor 1 now.
What do we see on floor 1?
We don't go to floor 0.
So you open up on floor 1 to essentially a catwalk over a factory floor. Where there are just many different fish people in this room, constantly making dice, getting them all. They're painting them by hand, so they're like getting out of these machines that are cutting and slicing the dice out of the right shapes, and then they're painting numbers on each individual side, being very careful about their designs, passing it on to the next part. Maybe there's one fish that paints each individual number, as they go down the assembly line, because they're fish people.
I've been painting ones for 73 years.
You see one of the fish
Now you want me
people.
to paint twos? I can't do
Yeah,
that.
can't do that.
I ain't trained for that.
You see one of the fish people pick up one of the dice, and he paints the last number on it, he's kind of shaking. He goes to put it on a tray. He's shaking. Then he rolls it on the floor to see what it lands up as, and like several other fish people dressed in all black walk up to just start beating him for not doing his job. And he gets hauled off, and another fish person takes his place,
I start taking nature notes.
as he couldn't handle the task of completing painting the dice without rolling them.
Poor
Yeah.
bastard.
Every time you finish painting them, you have to flip it for the next one. That's the true test.
Yeah, you can't roll it. You gotta.
Yeah.
It's very. This is why dice are so expensive in Fishtown. There, it's a very
I'm
difficult
having a
process.
very difficult time seeing all this happen.
Yes.
I'm salivating.
And so you are on this catwalk above, just walking over the factory, and you can see on the other end of this catwalk is a bunch of big glass windows, like floor to ceiling from your level, that lead into what appears to be like an office area. You can see like a nice hallway with like fake plants in it and stuff like that.
Because there ain't no sunlight.
No sunlight down here.
Shall we continue?
For extra detail, just because it's funny, you can see a few places where part of the ceiling have caved in slightly after your explosion up above. There's like bits of dust and like cracks and things, but
Dog hanging it.
the work must continue.
There's 7 basements.
We did a lot of damage.
You dropped a very, very hefty dragon from very high in the air, and you rolled a 1.
Their sewer system will never recover.
Nope.
You put a drill on the front so we can.
Knowing this guy and his clearly impeccable factory conditions, he probably hasn't been keeping up with maintenance super well. So.
Have we noticed that metal isn't there?
No one cares. Let's go.
That's
I
up
think
to
we
you.
did
Have you
notice.
noticed?
I asked where's metal when we stepped into the elevator.
Nobody answered.
Nope, nobody answered. The algae eater just
That
kept
would
eating
have been a
algae.
good time to, you know.
Nah.
I was just proving the disguise was working. Or the hiding this.
So he's just gonna continue waddling around in his way too big suit. He's got important
Is this
business.
still smooth floor, this catwalk, or is this a grate?
It is a smooth floor, yeah.
Okay.
So not quite a catwalk.
It's marble.
I think it's just like
I was
metal
thinking polished
sheets.
concrete. Okay, that too.
That works too.
I'm aware he's been following me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to try, like, under the clothes, just wiping the soles of my shoes on my pants.
Oh, okay. I like that. Give me another skulk roll. Let's see if this one goes a little better for you.
Filth transference.
6.
6. All right. So this time
Fuck, we're good at pants.
you got rid of all of the gunk off your feet, and now you're no longer on a floor that was recently mopped. So you're not leaving like little dry spots on the water. And so finally, the algae eater finishes up eating all of Metal's footsteps.
All of us were pristine.
Yes, and so now he's following your footsteps instead, but Metal can go free.
Excellent.
So you still have an algae eater friend.
As we should.
Are we able to get to the office door without like going through any of the workstations?
Yeah, you're up above them, so if any of the fish look up, they might see you.
Yeah.
I don't think they can.
That'd be quite a feat.
It would be quite a
They would
feat.
have to.
Right, but you are out in the open,
Yes.
so I think if you want to get across this area, you might have to sneak across.
If we act confident. I mean, if
Yeah, I'm just gonna
if Aruba here
confident
was
shoot on.
happy
Yeah,
to
you can
just
confidence
show
too.
us the way, there weren't like security guards or anything. I feel like we're honored guests, honestly.
He's with us, so clearly we belong there.
Yes.
Yeah, the new janitor, or the janitor's just showing the new janitors around.
Yes.
Clearly.
So
Okay.
I don't think we need to bother skulking. I think we
So a
just-
bit of confidence then.
Yeah.
Bursting into the office was always my plan.
So, what kind of action are you taking to get across this place without seeming out of place?
I'm gonna
this a
threaten.
threat?
I would
You
like
wanna
to.
Just walk
have
with
a
a
threatening
threatening
aura
behavior.
as you walk across?
Yes. I want my smug aura to mock everybody who catches me out of the corner.
Okay.
Right.
So-
Can't you have like a group
So
roll for that?
I was about to say this can be a group check, and how we want to do that is
Sure, I guess alpha chatting or what? We're thunk walking.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're just looking like real big businessmen in your real big business suits. You probably borrowed them from the Lobfather. They're all made for crab people.
They all have several extra.
They all have
levels.
plunging necklines.
Yes. So, everybody who is part of the threatening here, Metal's already handled it with stealth, but everyone who wants to be walking threateningly, roll threat.
I got
6.
a 1.
1 and 2. So both Kobe and Gladys take a stress.
My menacing aura has unfortunately stressed even Ella.
Exactly. As you two have to put an extra effort to keep up with the threatening aura of Carpalamy. as
Trying to
well.
act confident after I was just crying for 2 different reasons.
Yes. Strutting confidently while wiping tears out the corners of your
I am
eyes.
badly burned.
Yes, that too. Walking confidently while your hand is like dripping
Melting
blood.
off.
Yeah. While you're in extreme pain.
Cosplay as a skeleton flipping somebody off. We'll make a t-shirt out of you.
But Carpalamy did get a 6, right? That was a 6? Alright. So that counts as success for everybody, thanks to the team up action.
Nice.
So you all make it across the catwalk. You do notice a couple of fish people look up at you occasionally, as they have to like tilt their whole head to, like almost like a whole body movement to look up. But they do so.
The ones that have to inspect the dice are also seeing us.
Yes, that's true. They look at them with the dice, and then they come and see you, and maybe they'll tilt up the other way to see with their good eye, and they'll just notice you up there, like, and get back to work, because who knows? This guy gets important businessmen all the time down there.
Yes.
And even though these are a little coated with dust, that's probably just from the noise that happened before.
I've got a little briefcase.
You do have a little briefcase. That's very, very convincing. So you make your way down to the office area. There's like an empty part of the wall of glass you can walk through, and then you're into a nice carpeted area. This is where the janitor stops. He does not clean up the carpet, unfortunately. So he turns around and goes back down the catwalk, and you three are left alone, as Metal is nearby, but none of you know where he is.
Whatever.
Exactly. All of you just hear his voice in your head occasionally as he reprimands you for your failures. So it's like he's still here with you. Yeah.
We're monsters. We're not that tight knit.
Exactly. Oh, Metal must have died in the crash. Oh well.
Rip Metal.
Rip Metal.
He died as he lived. I don't know.
Well, he was living that way for a short period of time right before he died.
He died as he lived. On fire.
And invisible.
He died as he lived, as a kobold.
So true.
So true. Alright.
Alright, I want to knock on the door.
All of the doors are labeled 7. And there are 7 of them.
I don't have 7 hands.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've only metal.
All right,
Do
so
they
I have
handles.
Yes.
I have feral senses.
These appear to be fairly normal doors.
I would like to scan these doors and figure out which one gets the most use, or any
Ooh,
other
I like it.
clues that might help me.
Okay. It's definitely give me a scan roll then.
All right, and my
I'll say
feral
this is
senses.
This is a fairly easy roll. There's not really many consequences.
Okay. Says I can take 1 die when tracking or surveying an area and defense against surprise. Do you think that counts here?
I think that counts here, yeah.
Nice. This is the first time I have used my
Yay!
my class ability. After switching for one I thought would get used more. 6.
6. All right. So you look at all these doors and figure out which one has moved the carpet more. You get down real close to the floor with your one eye close to the floor, and surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly at all, the door right in the middle gets the most use,
Oh,
directly across from the catwalk, with 3 doors on either side.
that one.
Kobe's gonna try to do it again.
There's a handle, you idiot.
Put your hand on the door. Just.
It says pull.
Does it pop open like a cabinet?
I like to think that our view pops to the other side of the door, viewing the door from the side you all can't see. We just hear a soft thud. And then it pops back to your side. So you push on the door. Push. There is a door handle.
I'm gonna reach out, grab the door handle, and turn it.
And it opens right up.
I'm going to not notice that and think that I'm just pushing it so hard.
Whatever, we don't need the map right now.
I know.
So yeah, you open the door, and on the other side is a big empty room with one single desk at the other end. It's like needlessly large room. With just one small, normal-sized desk on the other side. And you kind of step through a little bit and look back, and all 7 of the doors led into this room, regardless. It didn't matter at all.
I like the cut of his cheek.
Yes. This guy is very ostentatious for no reason.
It's very strange that he has 7 when there's only 6 sides to the die.
I know, it's really weird.
The 7th side is on the inside.
His dice
I
have
am the 7th side.
Ooh, you know what? We've come up with the name for his company now. You all entered the offices of the 7-sided die, and that's what you are. He makes very special dice that can roll 7s on them mysteriously.
They only have 6 sides.
So
People are
it's
just sometimes putting a 7.
Yeah, it's just a cheater die and nothing else, but it's got 7
Turn
sides.
bad quality control into a feature.
Yes. Sometimes you order a whole big pack of them, and one occasionally has a 7 on it. So that's legendary.
Yeah.
So you see this fish man seated at the other side of the room, kind of like in a recliner, like laying back, and he's got a drink in one hand, which he just, I guess he doesn't sip really, he like pours a little bit into his fish mouth.
A super
watching?
crazy straw. Maybe
Yes,
involved.
maybe, yeah, very spinny, swirly straw up and then down into his mouth, and just closes his mouth and slurps on. You see the liquid go up through it.
Incredible.
Yes. You see half the liquid of the cup disappear up the straw and then reappear when he stops.
He has
drinking.
the strongest cheek muscles.
He has extremely well-defined cheekbones.
Yes. I'm trying to picture what that looks like. Though. He's
Like
just got the
handsome
fish head,
Squidward
but there's
fish.
just like a couple ridges under his eyes. All right.
We have discovered why he's so charismatic.
Yes, exactly.
Not even the first time Handsome Squidward has appeared in one of our games.
So, yeah, that's true.
I got little legs to get across this office. I'd be like,
But the carpet's thick and soft, I imagine. So you.
I imagine my feet always make a slap noise.
Yeah. He pulls out a hand, and you can clearly see no watch on his hand, but he looks at it and says, I didn't have a 3:12 appointment. Speak. Skedaddle it in the room.
I'm gonna go until I'm well below the desk line and then just flop the little briefcase up on it.
Ah, business, I see.
A couple little hippie hops before I get to pop it open.
What's inside the briefcase?
It is just a picture that I had the lobster guy make of himself looking extremely regal and
Oh,
charismatic.
okay. Just one flyer in there, like just
Yeah.
perfect.
One flyer and another, and then I spin it around so that he can see it.
Excellent. Well done. Okay, so you spin it around. You can see it. He says, ah, yes. And takes another slurp of the straw. I see. Some devilish business indeed.
I have no idea what he's saying.
Yes, he is quite impressed with what we've shown him.
Yeah, tell him all the things.
Yes.
Is there anything else in this room, or is it just this desk?
Just this desk.
Does he seem to have recognized me?
Yeah, good question.
I'm not wearing a disguise.
We went in on
You're
a
not
one.
wearing a disguise. And he did have bad history with him.
Yes.
Ah, it's business, I see.
I'm
But
actually surprised they let me in the front door.
which one of you is the minion of the other?
We are,
Are you his
business-
translator, or is he your minion?
Do you translate that?
He's my
What does it say?
employee.
I see. Very inconvenient employees.
I have communicated that we are allies. This one is my spiritual advisor.
I see.
You have no idea what he just said.
No,
I have communicated that we are allies.
But there was a gesture, so you
Yes.
pose. I see. Tell me, what business does a failed gambler bring to my doorstep?
Oh, failed gambler. That implies I have finished gambling. It is all part of... It is all part of...
Oh, that's such a perfect response. Implies I'm okay, sorry. Continue.
I'm calling someone a drunken failure. Like I haven't succeeded at drinking.
Oh god.
He's dead. We got him.
Okay. Well, a gambler who tales of your recent exploits have made their way to my ears. He points to wherever fish have ears, I guess down beneath his cheekbones.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure they have.
Words of your failed gambling have made their way to my gills already.
He's not a hero.
It's a figure of fish speech, you wouldn't get it.
Well, perhaps you have also heard of my victory against the Salmon Sisters.
2 boats.
Two boats.
2 boats!
Doubled down 5 times.
Yes, that was very pleasing to hear. Anything that hurts the Salmon Sisters is good work, in my opinion.
Well,
that
thank
was
you.
Them their
Pardon me?
5-sided
That was you.
Oh, yes, yes.
I see.
All part of the ongoing master plan.
And this is the business you bring me to.
Yes, we are doing many business developments. We come...
Slurps on his drink again.
He just hits a vape.
We have
Pulls
been...
out the vape. Spits out the straw. Takes a hit of the vape.
I have...
Big fat pop.
Oh, goodness. Like the fog on the lake in the morning, goodness.
Salmon flavor.
Smoked salmon.
Jesus Christ, this fucking society.
It was just smoke before he inhaled it, now it's smoked salmon. So, I have been in recent communication with the Lobfather. Perhaps you have heard of this.
I have
illustrious
heard
gentleman.
legends.
Tell him humans suck.
Humans do suck, yes, my minion. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
We were discussing over cigars.
A lot of them on the floor that we were above.
Just a pile of them.
Our mutual hatred of humans, and how it cannot be allowed to continue that they hold such a great stock in the company. It seemed to us that perhaps our races, those of the crab people and those of the fish people, should take over all of the interests of the company post-haste.
Not to be racist, but let's be racist.
My minion has reminded me of how terrible humans are, yes. how loathsome they are. Because I have, of course, so much business of my own, it occurred to me that for a fish person to be at the top of the company would be in everybody's best interests, but I simply cannot spare the time. So of course you were the first fish person to come to mind who would do perhaps as wonderful of a job as myself.
And
you
so-
are of course familiar with the company's many assets and opportunities.
I am, of course, but you walk through my factory floors and then assume that I would have time for such pursuits.
Well, of course, you are far more skilled in the art of delegation than I am.
I see.
I have only
Tell him it's
two minions, yes. Two.
2 millions.
Tell him his factory is so efficient the employees are beating themselves.
My minion is awed by the efficiency of your factory.
Yes, it is quite efficient.
We
We had
Well, we'll be leaving.
yes, we heard quite a disturbance up above on the surface, and
No idea
yet
what that was.
the factory must continue.
Yes, of course. It is a testament to the stability of your infrastructure that
Yes.
it survived that.
And as you know, we always need more dice.
The dice must flow.
Indeed.
The fuck?
They control the dice, control the universe.
Your rolls only succeed.
The
if you make
dice
it
must
fun.
flow.
He's got 3 weeks of this
I am
shit
so
built up.
glad metal can't understand.
So, yeah, so all of you just hear sip. That's the vape.
Blah 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 blah. But it's vape.
Yeah, exactly. Aggressive sipping up the really long straw. Probably takes a lot of gill power.
So what are your thoughts? What would make this situation optimal for your
So,
interests?
just to clarify,
Yes.
I assume you aren't doing this out of the goodness of your heart.
Of course not.
No. So what do you want out of the deal?
We have certain tasks
dig our basement.
There are certain tasks which the resources and equipment of the company would be. It would be quite an opportunity to have those available to us at any time. I am, of course, building my own empire, and our infrastructure is in an early stage of development.
I see.
Instead of throwing money at the company, why not simply bend it to our will? And
So
of-
you are seeking more allies.
Yes, of course, strengthening the relationships between you and myself and the Lobfather would be in our mutual interest.
Yes, and in the nature of strengthening our relationships, ours has been rather strained.
Yes, in times past, but
Yes,
today is
so-
a new day.
Indeed, but did you bring anything to, well, to smooth over the past? Any olive branches, so to speak?
Allow me to consult with my spiritual advisor.
Of course.
What did we bring
Spins
him?
his chair around. You just hear sipping noises from the other side.
Did we bring him, Brian? He's asking, what did we bring?
I didn't bring anything.
Sweet,
Was I
what
supposed to?
are we sweetening the deal with?
I have a gun.
Yeah, I believe you're going to sweeten the deal with "we won't shoot you." Was
yeah.
the deal?
Yeah, I'm just going
I
to.
don't think he sees us as a threat.
I'm going to self-writing pogo stick up onto his desk and aggressively pogo stick at him with a
okay.
bat.
So what are you doing?
Oh yes, my minion has reminded me of the fact that if you do not care to join us in this business venture, it would be in our best interest to remove you from the equation.
Kneecaps.
Yeah, kneecaps.
That's
My,
not in the-
my minion says.
I feel like Kobe would learn the light tongue from kneecaps, though. I feel like that's an important one.
I am terribly sorry that this happened to come up at this very moment.
I'm
but
still just bouncing and knocking
for
shit
some
all over his
reason, it
desk.
comes up every time I raise the issue of whether we have anything to sweeten the deal or not.
I think this calls for another group threaten.
How many slashes before you get a dot?
That's this already.
2 slashes, and then the
Stars
third
now.
one gives you a
Roll
dot.
threaten.
How much threat?
One, we've got one threaten.
I'm pretty
If you
threatening.
materialized, you could also
You are
have a six.
indeed.
6, very good.
I got a 6.
I have 2.
Okay, so Kobe takes a stress, Gladys is fine, and you have a 6 as your total result.
I just pat the bear trap hanging on.
Yes, yes, violence, quite. He takes a big nervous sip from his drink, and like just finishes all of it, and then sets the glass down, and the straw just kind of tips and falls out of the glass, and he doesn't notice.
I immediately knock over the glass by accident and bounce it all over his desk on a pogo stick.
Oh no, the paperwork.
Well,
I
that's
am
all.
making a tremendous mess.
Let's all settle down here. We
Oh,
can
I'm
come
quite
to-
calm. Are
yes,
you not calm?
Yes, of course. Starts wiping fish sweat off of his brow.
Yes, minion. Later.
Yes.
We
Well,
can find somebody else's kneecaps to break.
Good, yes.
okay. We can make this work. I like this plan. I will move in. I will help the Lobfather, as you called him, take over this location. I like this idea. We'll expand my business. Perhaps they can start carving local rock dice from that location.
Oh, that would be lovely. I would
Yes.
love a set.
Novelty product. Just came up with that. That's the
And
brain
this
of a
is
good
why
businessman.
you're
Yes.
the business fish.
So-
with the business
Can you
fish in
shoot off the desk, please?
Yeah.
Can you tell
Minion,
him
can you
to?
please dismount?
I'm going to do a backflip off of his desk, but it's not on purpose. I was just trying to go backwards slightly and completely fucked up, but because it's self-writing, I don't eat shit and die immediately.
Right. Okay. So you
Beautiful.
pull off that itself.
So instead, it looks very, very cool, and I almost throw up.
Perfect. Yeah, it like whips you forward, and you almost get whiplash off it. All right. Well, I have one more order of business then. You employ kobolds.
Yes.
I see. How many kobolds?
Various.
You see, there's one quite troublesome kobold that I was hoping you might help track down.
Oh, do tell.
He ate a dog.
No, there's one kobold in the area that has been quite troublesome in the gambling scene lately.
Yes.
I believe he goes by the name of it was an M name. Matthew. Oh, Metal. Metal was his name. There's a kobold named Metal. It's been quite troublesome,
Oh, I see.
and so it would do a quite good deal to repair our relationship if you could capture this Metal for me, bring him in so that proper justice can be dealt.
I have a counter offer. I will capture him, and I will deal with him as I see fit.
Enslavement.
And he will not bother your business ventures any further.
So you're gonna
Somebody who
enslave
can
him.
cause that much trouble is
You can't understand
Certainly.
this conversation. You just heard the name
So-
metal and
not
shouted
worth
enslavement.
wasting.
So,
Yes.
do you know of this metal?
Yes.
Does he work for you?
No.
All right, I think that calls for like a trick roll or something.
But that's true.
It is
I am thinking
true.
to myself, haha, he doesn't work for
He was just
me.
Yes.
telling him the truth.
So
How
maybe
I
banter
am
works.
trying to trick him.
Maybe a trick or banter, whatever you want to go for here, but just something so he doesn't see through your lie
I
here.
would like to go for trick, and I will spend a dark heart on that.
All right.
5.
Okay. So let's see.
No. Wink. Did you say wink?
Did you just say wink?
No. Wink.
You turn your fish head away and wink with the eyelids on the other side. It's like crossing your fingers behind your back. Hey. So he still seems slightly suspicious. He says, "Sorry, it doesn't work for you, but I get the impression that you have somewhat of a positive relationship with this metal. This won't be a problem, will it?"
Oh, certainly not. If he were,
I also like to think that all the rest of you just hear metal,
yes.
metal.
After all, why would I want your interests to be undermined when we're going to all this work to place you in such a position of importance to my own interests? Wouldn't that be working against myself?
You make a good point. Very well. I will continue the search for metal on my own, but if you find him first,
Of course, if you can
please let me know.
somehow manage to get your hands on him, what do I have to say about the matter?
Of course. Very well. You have a deal. You may inform the Lobfather of my participation.
It's a shame that I can't see him when he's invisible, or I would have taken his kneecaps. Oh, metal!
The betrayal immediately.
Oh god, my kneecap! Just rolls out of invisibility.
Metal flashbacks. It flashes back to having knee pads on before.
All according to plan.
Yes, I knew you would take my kneecaps. It's always the kneecaps. You don't protect yourself from a backstab. You protect your kneecaps
Yes.
for betrayal.
No, if he has any, like, flashback protection, he now has a metal plate over his butt. Because of the knife.
If you also secondary thing,
Yes.
if you insist on taking care of metal in your own ways, I might ask a different favor of you then. Could you track down whoever caused all the ruckus upstairs? There was quite a loud sound. It must have been right around.
I am afraid I have business to attend to.
Oh,
Them
We
as
will
a
discuss
yes,
this
well, it
later.
is. It is 3:32 at this point. So of course,
is
you
it?
must have a different. Yes.
Come, minion. Come, spiritual advisor.
It's like 10 a.m. He doesn't have a walk.
No, he's
Let
just
us
sticking
return
it-
to the public transportation we took to this location.
I'm gonna leave my briefcase and walk away.
Perfect. You just hear
Angrily
like
throw off pieces of my shit suit.
aggressive
this anymore.
vaping sounds behind you as you leave, like almost hyperventilating it. And you'll head upstairs. You get on the elevator. It goes up. It scrapes against the top floor once again because the doors don't quite close all the way. And you find the janitor there, who's just mopping the floor once again,
Yeah.
slurping things up. Doesn't seem to notice you.
Hello once again.
Indeed. He just plop, plop, and just keeps going.
Should we take him with us?
Would you like a job?
He just plops his head up and like.
Can I give him a gold to make him our minion?
I love that idea. So yes.
My last
So
gold.
he looks up and he just like kind of gestures at the dirty floor, and then you hold out a gold.
Oh, we've got many more dirty floors. Where that came from?
Yes.
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. So do you have 2 minion slots? I think you do, right? Or just one?
Can he just work at the house?
I only see one minion thing on
One of
my
the triplets is
sheet.
fired now.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe he can just be we'll just say like narratively, he's around your dungeon
Okay.
helping clean up there.
I mean,
like
he's
that.
just a fucking janitor.
He's just janitor. He's not like he'd be like useful
Maybe
on
that'll
missions,
make
but
the minions happier that we have somebody taking some of their chores.
I like that idea.
Call it purchasing luxuries.
This will
with
be part
base.
of your loot roll.
Yay.
You can't.
We need to get some loot.
So, yes,
I
that's
was
a good
going to
question.
loot the office while y'all were talking, but there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's
Did you
pretty
take
empty.
his stick of vape?
So, do
I
you
was
want
afraid to
to?
leave footprints on the carpet, so I just
Yeah.
stayed by the door.
Where's the nearest bank?
So there's that, and there's also how are you getting your dragon, which is currently embedded in the
Very
ground
good
outside?
question.
out
I'm going to
here?
build a catapult.
What?
Out of
I'm
what?
going to flash back to having made
Okay.
a like. It's not put together, but I can essentially assemble it like Legos, and it's disposable because we can't bring it with us, and pack that into the thing.
Does it take us like a really, really long time to wind it up?
Probably.
All right. So you get it all set up. I like that it's spring loaded, and you all start just cranking away at it, crank and a crank and a crank, and
Flashback
Can we try to
costs stress, right?
charge?
yes. Give me 3 stress for that one.
Can we try to charge civilians for the amazing carnival game of see how many cranks
Oh.
you can do?
I think you can with a trick roll,
All right, I would like to try to trick these
because
simple-minded town
a
folk.
lot of the people around here probably saw you land here,
and they have dead friends underneath it.
and
as
have
we
dead
speak.
friends underneath it.
You want
Yes.
to crank it for money?
6.
If you want to
6,
retrieve
yes.
the bodies of your loved ones,
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's the
It's like a loot box. You don't know who's down there.
You all split up, and that's how Gladys sells it to people. Bartholomew is like, let's play a game. Kobe is just like deranged. They're like, oh, okay, well, yeah.
Can you outrun
Kneecaps,
the crack
kneecaps.
cold?
Points at the thing. So you get a bunch of people to help crank it up and wind it up.
Faster
And-
you do this, the faster we leave.
Yes, can I get a group finesse roll?
Oh boy, I roll 2. Take
Unless
the worst.
metal is
that's
still.
what you have 0, right?
No, that metal would have reappeared in the ship.
Okay.
Oh, good. I got a 1 and a 6.
A 1 and a 1.
I got 3.
Kobe
3.
saves the day.
So fortunately, the 6 sticks. So you get
Oh,
a
it
6
does?
as your result.
I thought you had to take the lower of the 2.
Oh, did you get a 0 die?
I got a 1 and a 6.
Do
Yeah, I
you
have
yeah,
0
yeah.
finesse points.
0 finesse, then you take the 1. Yeah, so 1,
Yeah.
One.
Say
1,
1.
1,
3.
3. Okay, so that is
We're
a
gonna
full
die
failure
again.
as a team. Everybody takes 1 stress.
Oof.
I'm broke.
Oh, did you go full circle?
Yes.
It was
Okay,
already
so you
broken.
go feral. What is your dark impulse? It was
Meat.
meat.
Oh no!
That's your revelry.
Oh, there's a lot of
Revelry.
it under the plane.
Your impulse is you're obsessed with fuzzy things.
Oh,
Oh,
God, he's
right.
gonna kill more dogs.
So,
Kobe's gone to the local dog park. He's just going nuts.
yes, some local people around here who are like watching the spectacle and like just walking by and stuff are. There's actually, you know what? There's a dog walker walking by.
Yeah, with, like,
7
7
dogs on the leashes. Yeah.
Are they all dogfish?
I'm busy
dogfish.
assembling this thing so that we can get out of here and just.
Yep.
No, from a distance, a pufferfish would look fluffy.
And then just.
Skitter.
So Kobe runs off chasing some dogs. What do the other 3 of you do?
I'm going to football tackle the pile of dogs.
So at this point, because you failed the finesse
Yeah.
roll, you don't get the thing wound up quickly enough,
Okay.
and a new squad of fish cops come charging on the corner, all with like stances like this, just charging at you. They're all dual wielding clubs, just running at you. So you've got to maybe protect yourselves. Somebody has to keep winding the thing up. You're
gonna-
not quite done
I'm
yet.
gonna fire a fire arrow at the most flammable building nearby.
Okay.
Is there a
Fire
way to
arrow is
paper
one of
right-
my supply.
I like that. I won't make you roll for that because I think
Okay.
you're using a supply and it makes a lot of sense. So you point at one of the nearby buildings. You look at one that has a window broken already and just fire the arrow right through that. And it just, you hear it, "Yerp," and then the thing's light on fire. And then you hear the same person who cried out earlier cries out again, "No!"
You're gonna have such a hard time reinsuring that building.
Yes, and then it all goes very cartoonishly, just immediately erupts in flames. Whoosh, and the whole building is on fire. And the cops see that, and all but one of them split off to go try and save people in that building. And then one of them looks at them, and they're like match fish eyes together, and the
Yep.
one cop remains chasing the perpetrator.
Sick 'em.
What? Me?
Yes, it's your turn. I just did something. It's your turn to take out.
Yes,
the
it all works in turns. You see.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw a handful
Have you
of
never played
explosives
gambling before?
I just, not like this. I'm gonna throw a handful of explosives at him.
Not like this is what the dog lady said.
So I think this is a little more dangerous. So what kind of roll is this
I
going to
can't
take?
imagine why.
So there's a handful of explosives in your supply.
Yes.
Okay, so check off the supply. And then, I mean, this sounds finessey to me to throw a...
What does check off the supply mean? The little boxes above it?
Yeah.
I got two.
That I got like 2 uses of it?
Check off.
So, yeah, it's Chekhov's inventory. Not Chekhov's inventory. It's Schrodinger's inventory. So it's... we don't know what's in your supply until you take something out of your pocket. And you could be like, oh yeah, in my pocket all along I had explosives. But you only have 2 pockets. So you just don't know what's in
Oh.
your pockets. Yeah.
Okay.
So, out in one of your pockets you had explosives. So you pull
They're
them
like
out.
spell slots.
They're like spell slots, yeah.
So I can throw it powerfully.
Yeah, you want to throw it powerfully. That makes sense. So
Well, throwing
smash.
it precisely wouldn't work nearly as well.
So you chuck it really hard.
I want to
it
use my
out.
dark heart to add a 3rd die though.
Absolutely.
5.
A 5. Okay. So you throw the explosives out at this cop, and he just winds up with one of his clubs and goes to bat it back at you.
His baseball instincts. too.
Yes, his gambling instincts kick
Yes.
in.
That one knows how to play gambling.
You throw dice at each other and then bat them. So
They
you-
explode on impact though, so.
Yes, so he hits the explosion, and it explodes, of course. And you don't see him for a moment, but a lot of the shrapnel gets shoved in your direction, back at all of you. So everyone's going to take shock to guts.
Am I
So you
still
just get
near
riddled
that?
with.
If I'm chasing the puppies.
But the smoke settles, and there's just like a fish skeleton there, and it like falls
Nice.
apart.
Okay, so you're chasing puppies, you're running from the law.
Yeah, did I get hit by the
law doesn't
explosion
exist
too?
anymore.
Did you get
Well,
hit
no,
by
because
the-
I wasn't
no,
just
you
near
ran
that
away.
fish
You're
There's
good.
the one that doesn't exist.
So we need to really quick start cranking this.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
building's gonna burn down in no
I'm going
time
to
flat.
send my minions to help crank, and I'm going to get ready to pilot this thing.
Okay. Can your minions make me a check for that? Do they have anything that might be good for cranking quickly? Maybe smash or
We do have smash.
I think that works. Smash powerfully to powerfully crank this.
Sure. A 4.
A 4. So okay, so they get it winding up, but it's going to take a little bit of time. That's the consequence here. So you still have like there's still cops coming from the building with like people and dogs in their arms from the flaming building, and just setting them on the ground and going back in for more. And one of them sees the pile of fish bones on the ground and starts charging over towards all of you.
I'm going to realize that there are dogs in the burning building and
There's a
dive into the
Oh,
burning building.
okay.
There's a puppy orphanage in there.
Clearly. I'm gonna pogo stick into the nearest window regardless of if it's open.
All right. So Kobe gets bloodied, I think, by this.
Oh god.
Kobe.
I'm gonna yeet caltrops in between us and the cops.
All right.
There's another supply.
And somebody might want to wrangle Kobe before he kills himself with fluff.
Spiritual advisor, fetch Kobe.
How do you? So you threw caltrops.
Yes.
What action are you using to delay the cops with this?
I would like to threaten.
Threaten. Okay, roll me threaten. I like
Now
that.
my guts are shocked. How does that? How would that
So you
affect
take -1 die to this
Okay.
roll, and then you clear shock. Oh,
that? 5.
5. Okay, so you can clear shock off of guts. So as you throw the caltrops, you flex all the shrapnel out, and it does work. The cops are delayed by a bit by this, but none of them actually jump onto the spikes. They're just kind of like staying
Yeah.
around them and finding
I
a
just
new
wanted
route.
to stay away.
The thing's almost cranked all the way. Gladys, how are you getting Kobe back?
I'll pick up a yelping, burning puppy and try to lure him out with it.
Okay. What kind of action do you think this is to
I
get Kobe
don't
to-
know.
Okay, I mean, there's
Am I
trick.
trying to trick him?
This could be.
You know, I'm trying
Trick
to
makes a
lure
lot
him.
of sense to me.
Maybe you're tinkering.
It's either that or banter. Like,
Yeah, I could see one of those too.
but if I get another ticket,
I feel like you're definitely trying to get him to do something with this,
Yeah.
which trick makes the most sense to me. But
Okay. I've got 2 ticks with 0 dots in it. That's
So
two
still
dice,
2 dice
lower.
tick lower unless you spend a dark card on it.
I don't have any left.
All right.
1. Christ.
1. So you pick up this dog and start shaking it, but unfortunately there's just too many other dogs around and Kobe is going crazy.
I tried. Kobe died.
Metal's getting ready to pilot the thing.
You know, we could just leave him behind. He'll survive.
Oh yeah,
perfectly
I'm not waiting for it. Because I know
He'll
he
probably
wouldn't
be
wait
alright.
for me, so.
If there's
Of
a,
course.
can I try another thing?
Sure.
Can I just, if I won't catch on fire immediately, I want to run in and just try to wrangle him out if I can.
Okay, just muscle him out of there. Sure.
Yes. So
Yeah, which one is that?
smash.
Sure.
Powerfully.
You powerfully
So if I have 2 dots,
kick him out of the building.
2
with a
dice
smash
take
roll.
the higher.
Yes.
Yeah, but you've also got a hoodly on your muscles.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what
Oh,
is
so it's just 1 die. You got a little thing.
3?
3. So you try to grab him, but the power of the dogs are just too strong.
God damn it, Kobe.
God damn it, Kobe. All right.
I'm gonna get my hands around one dog and be so upset about all of the pain that I'm in that I revert to coward again.
Okay.
About that, but I think that clears your muscle problem.
It does. Yeah, clears your muscle shock.
If I had 2 ticks to trick before I had to get a 3rd.
So if you had 2 ticks, now you fill in the whole square.
Okay, cool.
And I think
Congratulations, you learned something new.
I'm tricky now.
what we'll do from there,
But Kobe's dead.
since
Yeah.
it's 9 o'clock, is we'll leave that as a cliffhanger of you
Okay.
all trying to escape from this perilous situation with a rabid Kobe chasing after dogs and fluffy things on fire while you're trying to escape the police in your totally smashed up vehicle. Quite a situation. But if you can get away, it's a pretty successful
Don't worry,
raid.
I've never flown this thing before,
You
but
know,
I've watched
Yeah.
Kobe.
The longer the fire goes, the less fluffy the fluffy things will be, and
That's
insanity
true.
will
That's
Not
true.
nearly as
The Kobe
attractive
is also already
when they're
bloody.
melted to
Yeah.
Screaming is an integral part of flying it.
Yes, true. All right. Very good.
Well, thank you, Jordan.
Thank you for running. This was a really fun one.
It was weird.